Ben has messed up. He's been saying some things that he shouldn't be saying about his wife.
To the same person who caused them problems in the first place.
He didn't learn the first time?
No, he did not. He's back for round two.
Well,
And it could be the final round.
yeah, because he could get knocked out of his marriage.
Amen.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 15, episode number 8.
And today we're going to focus on Ben and Morgan. But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content. And please send your comments. And we appreciate you for doing that.
No question about it. Thank y'all.
So let's get into it. We see Ben and Morgan working out. And clearly they're still attracted to each other. And they're having a good time because they're both fitness buffs.
Yeah, and it's interesting that how that kind of is a theme for their relationship, where they're working things out.
Yeah.
Based on what has transpired, previous
Between them.
episodes. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So Morgan says in a confessional that she still doesn't trust Ben, but she's trying to have an open mind. She's trying to date. She's taking the ladies' advice.
Mm-hmm.
So she plans a mermaid
Costume
swim
with an instructor,
which I think is personally ridiculous. Mermaids are for kids. You're dealing with a grown man, and you want a grown man to put on a fuchsia mermaid tail.
Costume tail.
That's sort of
I know. I'd have been like, oh hell
I
no!
I couldn't get you to do that.
Hell
and
no!
I wouldn't even think of asking you to do that. That's not a good look.
No.
And the man is already trying to do all that he can to get her back in her good graces. So it seemed like she was happy that he was putting on this tail, and it didn't sit well with me at all.
Yeah, they seem to be having a good time of the occasion, with the instructor and all that. And Ben, actually said, well, whenever I see her happy, that makes me happy, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And that's not good either.
No.
No,
and
not
he's going to do whatever
good.
it takes to regain that, that trust that he
Yeah,
knows.
but whatever it takes, though. I mean, Morgan clearly knows that she shouldn't have walls. She has been told that multiple times, but she's still holding on to a wall.
She got the brick, the mortar, and the trowel in her hand,
God.
and constantly building.
And she got some steel in there too.
The reinforced rebar.
Yes, yes.
Man.
So she's not about to get that down anytime soon. And it seems to me, I could be wrong, she's enjoying keeping that wall up.
Yeah, that would be troubling or disturbing to me. If they start off by getting the card and the champagne, right, from the producers, and the card asks them, to talk about your love, what love means to you, and past relationships and all that, if you've ever experienced that, correct?
Right.
And Ben kind of talks about it from the standpoint that he's never really been in love before.
He's never been in love. He said he had a close relationship with a girl when he was in college.
Right.
However, he had a series of loss. His friend died, his father had a heart attack, so he had to really shelf that relationship.
Yeah, he said that he just really had, I guess, a difficult time recovering from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
how that kind of impacted, the relationship that he was in at the time. He went through that, and just, it was something that, if I'm not mistaken, he said was kind of like a mutual agreement to part ways, because he kind of felt like he wasn't in the place to be able to give her what she needed.
He couldn't give her any focus or time. They had a date. He wanted to make a Korean barbecue. And she came through the door, and he had everything set up in their apartment.
It was straight,
he
wasn't
had some expensive cuts of meat. He had the bowls and everything and the food ready.
You want to take the chopsticks and grab a little piece of that barbecue.
He had a grill set up. He was just like, woo!
What is
that? Some kind of thing. I mean, the brother was prepared, and
he was ready.
She was just chowing it down.
Yeah, and that's good that he made that effort and all as a means of trying to say, hey, look, I know you're coming home from a hard day's work and all that. Let me do something for you.
Right, and I thought that was a nice touch.
No question about it.
But you didn't hear her, enthusiastically thanking him. You said you've
I
already
did.
heard
I
it.
missed. I missed it
I
completely.
heard her say thank you.
I didn't.
But it wasn't like, excited.
Yeah.
She appreciated the meal, of course. But while he was doing the grilling, the smoke detector went off.
Yeah.
So they
So
had
that
to
was like a
stop
little distraction.
and open the windows. So when they came back,
Yeah, he was. Go ahead.
Binh seemed to be committed to sharing with her why um, why the existence of this hurt came about, because he said one thing: hurt people hurt people.
And he couldn't have been saying the truth no better than that.
Right.
Because he is absolutely right.
And I'm surprised of his self-awareness.
Yep.
He said that, in the Asian culture, it's all about what you do, all about
the
your
accomplishments and
schooling
all that.
the accomplishments
Right.
and what have you.
And the direction in life that you're going.
Right.
Based on your elders' expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their expectations. So you already have a weight because you're not doing what you would like to do. You're doing something for other people. And he said that his family never really engaged him in an emotional way regarding love. It seemed to him like he was never enough. All he had to continue doing was to accomplish something over and over again, but no one really addressed the elephant in the room. He didn't have an emotional connection with his father.
His father, yes.
And
yes.
his father, he felt like his father thought he wasn't enough.
Right.
And he also always felt that sadness and loneliness as a result of it.
Yeah, that painful part of that relationship, I guess, kind of led him to become for lack of a better expression, a people pleaser.
Right.
Like his buddy.
Like his
Justin.
Yeah. So that's why they connected. That attraction, put them together.
Yep.
And one thing he did say was that's the reason why he spoke to her in the way he spoke to her when they went on the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Because that's a conversation his family probably had with him, and he wasn't saying that he was actually telling her that she was not enough, but that's not true.
Yeah.
That she is enough and he is enough, but he just got to get to that point.
And he did a good thing. He owned his own.
Yes, he did. It was remarkable
it was
to
good.
watch.
And like you said, it was the self-awareness that was really refreshing to see.
Yes, it was.
Really was. And I give him credit for that.
Yes, and the way he broke it down was really inspiring to see it. And what does he get from Morgan? Crickets. That sister was as cold as the grave.
Yeah, and it was.
She didn't even come back with anything emotional after he was so
revealed
vulnerable with her.
Right, but what was interesting to me was that as part of that conversation that they were having with one another, she did take the time to reveal to him about a past relationship that she had, about how she felt like, the last serious relationship that she had, it was the right person but the wrong time.
Now, I don't know how that works.
Hell, that means.
That doesn't make any sense to me. But she is holding on to a man who said that, okay, I will fight for you. I will do all this stuff for you. And then she said that those relationships are hard to come by. Meanwhile, back at the farm, she got a man right in front of her who is actively trying everything that he can to get her forgiveness. What about him? What about this dude that's right in front of you?
I guess that's not applicable to him.
Over and above what is possible just to get. But meanwhile, she is focused on some other dude who is not there at the time. She has issues. She got issues.
The walls that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And she's building it brick by brick by brick.
And she's not about to let him in because he got to morph into that dude who left her because she said he did leave her.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. It really is.
So why is she talking about him?
I have no clue. I guess because that was uh, something in terms of an experience that made an impression on her that she hasn't been able to work through yet.
Well, in the meanwhile, they both have fathers who believe that they were not enough,
Mm-hmm.
and she said she did therapy to get to an awareness that she is enough.
Mm-hmm.
She had to tell herself that over and over
And she
again,
made a decision.
and she made a decision that the best way to get that toxicity out of her life, she had to leave her father alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she walked away from it.
And that's a hell of a position to have to be in.
Absolutely.
But you know what? If that's what you have to do to be able to have your own sensibilities in line so that you can move forward in a healthy way in your own life, that's what you got to do. Sometimes you have to cut your relatives off.
Right. But Ben was asking her like, okay, how do you do that? And it seems like she was telling him, to me, to do the same thing with his father.
She did, and she also said that she or kind of expressed the sentiment that she's willing to help him do that as well.
So I'm not sure he's in that space.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
either.
don't think he's in that space because he's family oriented.
Yes.
But he does have to find himself, and I don't think he can find himself with Morgan.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get to a happy place because since the upset from the honeymoon and they're 21 days in, they're not doing anything, they're not being romantic, they're living like two roommates. I don't see them getting anywhere out of this hole.
Yeah, and I think that Morgan has let a piece of advice that was a doctor or Pastor Culberson
Mm-hmm.
said to her, go in one ear and out the other, and that was this: the other side of an apology is forgiveness.
But she doesn't understand that. She thinks the other side of forgiveness is creating that wall. And the more walls she creates, she's gonna end up by herself thinking about this ex-boyfriend who was with her at the right place but the wrong time. She has this imagination that's still connected to a relationship that has passed, and the one that she's presently in, she has no care or concern for that or the man involved.
It's a sad place to be
Yeah,
because
and
it's like
she's okay with that because she want to be strong. Nobody could use her, nobody could abuse her, and all this other
the
stuff.
hard exterior,
That
hard shell.
hardcore stuff. So she happy to see him like jump through whatever wall she put up just in an attempt to please her. But in the end, it's just
It's
do
all
more,
for naught.
do more.
Yeah, it's all
do
for
more.
naught. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
wonder if she understands that she has messed up in her life, and people may need to forgive her.
Good question.
I wonder if she understands that.
I would hope so because if she doesn't, then she's obviously not been truthful to herself about it.
Right.
Because we all have messed up at some point in time,
Right.
and that doesn't mean that people take ownership of that. It just means that you're not in a place of awareness where you realize that you messed up and where you can accept it.
So I'm not sure I get what she's trying to do, but clearly she has iced dude out.
Yeah, and that's because the trust has been violated, which he already admitted to,
Well,
and he knows
he
that.
acknowledged that he messed up.
And how many times is he going to have to keep doing that? I am on board with that. I really
I
am.
think Ben could have gone further in his "I'm not enough" speech
Hmm.
because he should have told her that he's enough for her, and if she doesn't want him, that's
That's okay.
that's okay.
That's okay.
I think he should have gone that because she still has this stick up her you know what, and she's not seeing anything beyond the violation she may have felt
While she continues
while she continues to
build
do
that
the
wall.
same thing.
Right.
So he should have gone further in that awareness speech
Yeah.
and told her that, I'm enough. I made a mistake with you, but I'm enough. What you're trying to do is not cool, and I could be enough all by myself.
Well, that would be.
Do you think that will wake her up? I think it will.
I think it would, but how she would respond to it wouldn't necessarily be, from my vantage point, constructive.
Well, good, good. We all know where we are now.
Right.
Now,
Right. We can move on.
We can move on. But right now they're stuck.
You're right.
And somebody needs to shake something up. I guess that's why next week's presentation about another betrayal has her hot and bothered. So we see them meeting with the group,
Dr. Pia
and Dr. Pia asks them how they're doing.
Right, right, and you know, there's an issue, a recurring issue of trust
Right.
between the two of them, and how Morgan has just not moved beyond that.
She's not going to.
That's
She's not going to.
That's unfortunate.
And then Ben unfortunately confides something in Justin because he must feel the frustration of doing stuff and just getting denied, not good enough. So he needs an outlet to talk to someone,
So
and
he-
unfortunately he chooses Justin to do that.
So he
with.
goes to another people pleaser
Right,
to listen.
right. And
Poor
he
dear.
then is going to share it with his wife who can't hold water.
Then,
Stop me
then,
when
then
I'm
alone, yeah. Then alone, so a statement that was said to her by somebody else in confidence, right?
She can't hold a drop.
Wow.
So she then goes and tells the other one.
Tells Morgan, and
Right.
then Morgan is on the warpath.
Right.
And back
Because
again.
both Morgan and Alexis are independent women. How the attraction is.
Sure, people tend to gravitate to things that that they share in common
Yeah.
with one another,
Right.
and it certainly happened in the case of Justin and Binh in terms of their people pleasing spirit.
I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, and
I
you know
think
what?
next week is gonna be.
And I didn't think that they would. I could be wrong, and they'll correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't think that they would make it from the beginning.
Yeah, I thought there were too many issues between them, but no one was able to see that she would take a betrayal so far
Harbor it for the
and
period
harbor
of
it
time.
for so long.
Can't move forward looking back.
Because while she may say that she's moved on from her father and she's empowered, she is not, because that wall comes from ish she had to deal with him.
Yeah, that's a bad place to be.
So anyway, that's really sad. Their
It
whole
really is.
situation is a heartache.
Yeah, it's not good. It's very hard, difficult to deal with right now.
Anyway, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I don't know why I feel so emotional for them right now.
Well, I mean, you want to see them do well, but you obviously know that the challenges that they have to overcome are not going to be met going about it the way that they're going about it right now. It's not.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Please send us your comments, and we'll see you in the next bit.
Be blessed, y'all.
Always.
Bye.
Bye bye.